This is a worked example on how to solve a inequality involving a root or a power function. Now, the reason I'm choosing to include this one is because I think it has a really creative solution that doesn't require a lot of algebra if you just sort of think a little carefully about what a root function actually tells you. So let's look at this solution. So you're not allowed, well, you're not allowed, but you really shouldn't raise a side of the inequality to an even power because it's not going to preserve the inequality symbol. So I can't really get rid of this square root directly. So I'm going to start by moving terms to one side. Now I'm going to do this using strictly multiplication and subtraction because I don't want to accidentally flip my inequality by dividing. But let's start by moving the square root over. So I have 10 is less than or equal to 11 plus the square root. And now let's subtract that 10 over. And so this might seem difficult to move from here because we don't want to raise both sides to an even power. And we also can't, we can make a sign diagram, but we have a plus sign thrown in there, which might make things a little more complicated. Not impossible, just more complicated. But let's look at what we can deduce from just analyzing this function. So I want to know when this thing is positive. And let's break it down into its two components. 1 plus square root of t minus 2. Okay, one fact right off the bat is that 1 is always a positive value. That's a very trivial result, right? And if you think to what a root function looks like, this one specifically will be shifted left. But if you remember, it has a restricted range to all of the 0 or positive numbers. And so there's no way that this root function can ever produce me a negative value. So the entire value of this root function is also going to be positive. And so at this point, we might be able to see what's going on. We have 0 less than or equal to some positive value. Well, it's 1, but we're just going to call it some positive value, plus another guaranteed positive value. So the only answer we could ever really get here is some positive value. Now, we want to be careful here because we might be tempted to say, oh, the solution to this one is simply all real numbers, right? Because the 0 is always less than a positive and it's positive everywhere, so we're done. But then the one thing you want to keep in mind is the restriction of the domain on the root function. So if we look back to this part of the equation, this portion has a restricted domain that is shifted over 2. If we want to solve this more rigorously, I would set the inside of the root greater than or equal to 0, and I find that my domain is greater or equal than 2. But I can't take a non-existent domain and add it to an existing domain. What I mean by this is if t happens to be less than, let's just say t is 1, right? So it's outside of our domain. And I have this situation, I cannot define this value. And so overall, the domain of this entire function is restricted to that value of not 0, I'm sorry, but of 2 to infinity. And so the solution to our inequality is all of the numbers, but it's not all real numbers, it's all of the numbers where our function can exist. And so the total solution is simply that 2 to negative infinity value that we found, by analyzing the domain. So this one's not an incredibly algebraically complex solution, but with a bit of clever, analysis of the root function itself, we can kind of discover what the answer to the inequality is. So I'm including this as a worked example because you can't get away with this for every function, but I want you to keep an eye out for these kinds of situations where you might be able to do an analysis like this and make an equation possibly easier to solve.